Hey peeps, welcome to vlog number 3. Today I'm going to be telling you all about the main interview and of course those very scary results from the interview. So, I told you about the telephone interview last time and I was invited along to the main interview, which was held on November the 18th, 2010. It was a very scary day for us, and that morning I did get a slap on the face because I wouldn't stop saying to my sister, I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared, and yeah, I got that for it, but it's alright, covered up with foundation, it was all good. Got myself all suited up, had my nice grey suit on and sparkly top. I also made sure that I put my Mickey Mouse necklace on as well. I wanted to make sure I had that Disney attire. I do have Disney Converse as well, but I thought, nah, they're not going to go with the suit. So I left them and I walked in with Stephen, and the actual presentation that we were being given that day started at 9:30, but most of us were there for 9 o'clock. And we got there and there were loads and loads of people, all from the UK, all from different places. They travelled all the way down to Birmingham for the interview that day, so it was good to get to know other people there. People who we hadn't met before, who have the same Disney passion as us. So that was cool. And we went in just before 9:30. We were invited in by Nick, who works for Yummy Jobs, and also Jill and Robin, who are the recruiters for the Disney International College Programs. Now obviously there's 3 international college programs. There's a 1-year cultural representative program where you go and work within your own country in Epcot, which is one of the Disney parks. There's a 6-month international college program, and finally there's a 3-month summer international college program, which is the one that myself and many other friends are on for this summer. So yeah, we got there and we had to sign the register, and I was quite worried at first because I couldn't find my name on the register, so that was pretty like, but I found it in the end, so all was good, many smiles. And we got sat down and I was sitting next to Stephen, because Stephen was like the only one I knew from our uni who was doing the Disney programme. So I sat next to him and I was shaking, I had butterflies, I had tingles down my back. And then we were given a brief introduction to the summer programme, and then we were shown a presentation. Well, it was sort of like a video really, and that took about 20 minutes, half an hour, and it was really good. It was proper cheesy. It was other people giving their experiences on working at Disney, and just seeing all Disney World and seeing all these people having fun while working, my spine was tingling. I was just like getting proper excited about it, although at the same time I was nervous. We were then given this thing called audience participation, which is where we were quizzed on Walt Disney World, the history of Walt Disney World, films, the parks, stuff like that, etc. And you really kind of have to get yourself involved. Like, it's a proper cool thing. You've got to be like yeah, so there were these prizes, which were these really funky Disney International College Programme pens, and fortunately I was lucky to get one. I think the question that I answered was name a popular Disney programme or Disney station, obviously hand straight up, Disney Channel. Got myself a pen, so that was pretty cool. And then we were given our interview times, and we were called out in groups of 4 because each interviewer interviews 2 people. So my time was at 12:50, and we all exited the room, and there were some people who pretty much had their interviews straight away, others who had to wait hours. I think I only had to wait about a couple of hours, maybe a little bit longer. Anyway, I was fortunate enough to find someone who was at the same time as me, Danielle, who I was actually interviewed with. So just before our interview we got to know about each other, we got chatting, and then we had to go to our interview. We had to make sure we were there 15 minutes before our interview because there was a bit of paperwork we had to fill out. We were given a roll sheet, and there were all these roles. There were things like lifeguard, hotel services, merchandise, operations, which includes attractions, and meeting and greeting at turnstiles. There were loads. Food and beverages, loads, and I can't even remember every single one to list them. Custodial is also one. I only remember that because my friend Rich, hey Rich, he's working on custodial. That's another one. But I think there were 17 in total. Well, it's a pretty random number, but I think there were about 17 different roles to choose from. So you had to put, like, number 1 was your favourite and number 17 or whatever was your least favourite. I didn't put a number next to every single role because there were some where I thought that's not for me, so I just did it up to character attendant, which I think was number 8 or something. But my first choice was operations, because that's really, it just sounds really good fun. Well, all of them sound really good fun, but merchandise was my second choice, so I didn't mind which one I got. I didn't even mind if I was given food and beverage, to be honest, but my preferences were operations, which I did get, so that's pretty lucky. And all of a sudden mine and Danielle's names were called, and we were taken into one room with Nick, who had to go through all our paperwork with us, because we had to make sure that we had our proof of student status. Now that's the form that got mislaid, and what had actually happened was I had handed it in, but it didn't get handed back to me. So they had no proof that I was a student, but that was all sorted and it was all fine in the end. And we had to have our birth certificate, passport, driver's licence and all these other forms that we'd filled out to apply. So we'll just go through them, and Nick asked us about what we'd like on our name badge for working in Disney, so what area. And I thought, well, I'm going to get Hedgley put on it again. Some of you may know where Hedgley is, some may not, but we want to get it well known. And my sister had Hedgley on her name badge when she worked out there. And I think it's about time Hedgley got known, because really it's about the tiniest village in the universe. So yeah, Hedgley on my badge, hopefully, fingers crossed. After that we had to go and sit back down in the waiting area, and then we were called through to our interview. Danielle and I, we were interviewed with Robin, and we got in there, we were nervous, shook her hand, sat down, but it was so relaxed. It was really, really, really relaxed. And, oh, it was just so, it was informal, and we had a good laugh in there. And it wasn't just about you talking to the interviewer, you had to involve yourself with your other interviewing partner. So Daniel and I were communicating with each other. Oh, it finished. I like that track. Oh well, I'll carry on without it. So yeah, we were listening to each other, we were backing each other up on certain things, agreeing with each other. We were just generally having a good laugh, and we were asked very similar questions to what we were asked in the telephone interviews, such as how do you feel about living and working with other people from other cultures. Well, I love learning about different cultures, so obviously no problem. The cheesiest question of all, why do you want to work for Disney? I love it. Just such an amazing atmosphere. The pride that the cast members take in their work. Oh, just very similar to vlog number 2. What would we like to get out of working at Disney? Well, I did have a slight confidence issue back then, and my confidence has slowly built up over time, but I'm really hoping I can get a lot more confidence out of working at Walt Disney World, because I'm working within a worldwide attraction, and such, like, possibly the most popular attraction on the planet. So hopefully more confidence, and just the ability to sort of work with other people from all over the world, because when I worked in Tanzania, I did work with just a few Tanzanians, but to be working with people from everywhere, I just like interpersonal relationships and stuff. I mean, that's a skill that I do already have, but to go out and work with hundreds, it's just, it's something I definitely want to get out of it, but confidence is the main thing. And I'd like to involve myself in the volunteering out there, so that's another thing. And just to sort of, I don't know, I just want to have the most amazing experience of my life, which I know I am going to have. So it was really cheesy stuff again, and just as we left, we were called back in because Robin forgot to ask us what our first choice role was. So obviously mine was operations, Danielle's was food and beverage, I think. If I'm wrong, sorry Danielle, but it was something along those lines. Yeah, so we went out and I gave my mum a call and I was like, I think it went well. And so she was pleased with me. And then I was just about to leave and I thought, actually no, I'm going to go back and ask everyone else how they did in their interview. And by doing that, by waiting for everyone coming out their interview, I made more friends on the day. And so these are the people I'm going to be out there working with. This is the UK cast members I got to meet that day. And by doing that, by the end of the day, myself and 5 or 6 others who I'd only just met that day, we all went out for a drink at Wetherspoons, which was nice. And then I went back, let myself in my accommodation, told my sister all about it, and then the scary 2.5 weeks for the results came round. I'm actually going to tell you about that in the next vlog, otherwise this vlog will be really, really long. So yeah, vlog number 4, the wait and those scary results. See you in vlog number 4.